All right. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I'm your host, Tony G, and we're about to get started. We're going to be talking about MAGA strong as ever. We got Trump, President Trump, up on there, So we're going to go ahead and talk about it. It's our favorite president that we all love and know, and I'm not trolling. I'm really not. I mean, this is how I feel about the situation. President Trump has really, really been doing his thing, ladies and gentlemen. His love for this country and everything. We talk about his policies and things. I'm just saying, So the immigration lawyers that has been fired too, got rid of all of them, you know what I mean? And Trump is really amping it up on the second term, you know what I mean? There's things with Trump's policies. It's a beautiful thing, like I said before. Trump's accomplishments, and we're going to talk about them again because I'm doing this for a reason and purpose. I'm harping on Trump more because the midterms are coming near, right? So this is the thing. We need to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. We have to deal with this because elections is right around the corner pretty much. Not right around the corner, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be talking about Trump's accomplishments in 2025, the drill baby drill thing. That's a beautiful thing. Where we'll see rocket bottom pricing for the gas, that study coming down even now. So this is what Trump ran on his campaign promise. And see, with stupid people and TDS people, what they don't really seem to understand, they don't have no idea about the central bank. They have no clue, And trying to educate them is literally like impossible. Because when you have Trump derangement syndrome, you don't care about nothing else. Nothing else matters, right? Nothing else matters. They try to come into different spaces just to be cynical, smart aleck, and so forth. But in actuality, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about how MAGA is stronger than ever. Just look at the firing of 100 of those immigration judges. And if you guys think about this too, ladies and gentlemen, y'all remember the auto pen? You remember Trump? He been talked about the auto pen, right? The auto pen has a lot to do with what we're seeing right now, right? As far as the auto pen. So, since Trump has basically disregarded whoever they used that auto pen, they went on and wrote executive orders as well as they put pardons on certain individuals. Now, Trump looked at this and said, okay, this was auto pen, that was auto pen, Fauci was auto pen. All these people that were covered up or thought they were protected with the pardons and other executive orders. Every single executive order that was used, as well as, right, and we're talking about stuff with the immigration, that's all included in there, right? There's a lot of things that was included in there, all but one, ladies and gentlemen, all but one. But everything on that auto pen, Trump got rid of it. It's because whoever used the auto pen was not supposed to do that. Only the sitting president, and which was Joe Biden at the time. The only one that was legit that Joe Biden authorized was the protection of his son, Hunter Biden. We remember last year, right, when he gave the wrote on the auto pen, used the auto pen to protect his son, gave him a pardon. Everything else is non and void. Uh-oh. So the Democrats are going to be in serious trouble. What they have set up under that auto pen is non-void. This is why you see Trump now. He has authorization, ladies and gentlemen, where he can go back in and do what he must do, right? Because he has the power now, right? He has the power to be able to go in there, right? Since the auto pen is not a valid source. All but one is the protection of his son, Joe Biden. Everything else is non-void. And this is basically what it is. Trump can basically go in there and do what he wants to do, right? Within the Constitution, of course. But he can go in there and just simply just totally, take down, because it's all fraud, right? And Trump has, he has signed, I believe signed about 217 executive orders, right? Which is a lot in his second term. Trump signed a whole lot of executive orders. And the goal is to get these things in the law. Therefore, no future president can be able to go in there and be able to change things. And I believe that's what they're working on, We talk about the economy, and I'm going to mention it again, you know what I'm saying? So with the job reports, there's a lot of manufacturing tech jobs that have manufacturing jobs as well that are all here in America. All the companies, all the money, even the silicon, the semiconductor that's being created here in America. You got Honda, you got Toyota, you got Volkswagen, we got Chrysler that's going to be over there in Illinois. Honda is going to be over there in North Carolina, and Toyota is going to be over there in, supposed to be? Toyota's supposed to be in, I'm trying to remember what Toyota's supposed to be right now, but at any event, I think it's Indiana. But at any event, yeah, this is looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Because like I said, since I already been shadow banned or whatever, I said, you know what? I could reach people on the other platforms, on the other networks. If you guys that can hear me on Twitch, and you can hear me over there on Rumble, on Kicks, just let me know. I'm working on Rumble right now. I'm working on getting on Rumble as well. I'm already on Rumble. If you guys want to do me a solid, you can follow me on a random mail, which is 2 M's. That's it. A random mail. I'm on Rumble as well, right? I got videos up there on Rumble, so you can find me easily under a random mail, right? Because I love talking about this stuff, man. I'm talking about Trump a lot up until midterms, right? Because I want people to be able to understand his policies, the method of what he's doing. We're going to be talking about all these things. And for the things that's not talked about on mainstream media, this is where we come in and break stuff down. You already know that the deep state is very panicked right now because Trump already talked about the auto pen. It's non-valid right now. All but one is, like I said before, Joe Biden was used the auto pen to protect his son, Hunter Biden. That's the only time actually Joe Biden used the auto pen. Everything else is non-void. Joe Biden knew nothing about it. This is why Trump have already discredited whatever that was used on the auto pen. This is why he's going aggressive with those 100 immigration lawyers. He can go right in there and take care of that, because Trump is going to put 80 of the judicial, right? He's going to put his judges in there, remove a lot of these Obama judges out of here. He's going to put his judges in there. And this is basically what Trump is doing. He's been crippling the deep state and the Democratic Party, right? Cutting them off at the ankles, chopping each and every bit down, figuratively, of course. But he's been working on it. And like I said before earlier, he's breaking them down where they're going to be weaker, and weaker. This is big, right? Because, like I said, that auto pen, ladies and gentlemen, every executive order, every pardon that was under Joe Biden didn't have no knowledge of it. So Trump threw all that out. So now we are definitely going to see the Democrats are boxed in, right? Then they also got to fight off this thing in Minnesota. Remember I talked about the Somalis? 80% of them is on welfare. And also a lot of them are behind the scheme stuff that they were doing with a lot of these NGO programs and stuff they were trying to run, state ran, I mean. So stuff is really, really looking bad right now. It's looking bad for Tampon Tim Walz. It's looking bad for the mayor over there. It's looking bad for people over there, and ICE is there too. Not to mention, and when the first of the year rolls around, ladies and gentlemen, when that big beautiful bill kicks in, for the people, we're gonna see a decrease with the tax situation, automatic, along with a lot of other things that's gonna be coming to view, right? What we're gonna see an abundant ice storm that's gonna hit in a lot of these particular cities because now they got the budget. And now that they got the budget next year, they're going to flood the zone in every area. They can run, but they can't hide, right? And are already doing a great job rounding them up anyway, getting every last one of them up on out of here, right? And this is another thing, though. So for people that voted for this, you should be very happy. I'm going to be talking about Trump like never before up until the midterms. Where let everybody else cover the news. I cover the policies, right? That's what I'd like to do. Let everybody else cover the news. You got enough people that could cover the news. I may mention certain things, but it is helping MAGA, right? Making America great again. And I just love talking about making America great again because we all live in America. What other country y'all think that we can live where it allow you to have freedom of speech, walk around with a gun, and so forth, right? Only in America. We the last frontier when it comes down to freedom, right? And I'm going to protect it. And I love this president that we have. President Donald J. Trump is the greatest president what we ever had in our lifetime, man. I haven't seen anybody that have worked harder for America along with the American people. It's Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? Thing about it is that his policies work for America. 77 million people voted for Trump at 87% approval rating. It might have went up even more since he went very, very hard on immigration and the economy. And we're going to start seeing that gas and stuff go down. Drill, baby, drill. It's on its way going down. It's already going down. The meat is starting to go down now because I admit the meat was high. But here it is. Once again, the reason that the meat was up because we had what we call the meat packers. The meat packers had a control monopoly here in America. They would not drop the meat prices. They kept on kept the prices up where they were or hiking it up. So what Trump had to do, he had to make some deals over there in Argentina. Now we're going to have meat coming from Argentina over here to America, which is going to force the meat packing industry in America to be more competitive. Because if Trump has to circumvent them, he will, and he has. And this is why we're starting to see a little bit of a drop with the meat pricing now. And it's coming down a little bit, but the more competition in America, you know what I'm saying? And that's what America used to be about. It was about competition. It wasn't about squeezing out and having a monopoly. It was about competition. You know what I'm saying? So we had a Fair Trade Act in America where two businesses were allowed to compete with each other for the customer. Not have this big old super Walmart and these places that squeeze out the competition. That ain't cool because now that they can set the price, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, these socially ran supermarkets and stuff in these other countries. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? So all that should be left in the private sector. We don't want big government, ladies and gentlemen. Trump is shrinking it, as you can see. We should be down to about 30% government, not over 100% government. We need about 30% government. Government do not need to be in our affairs on every level. This is something that I'm totally against. You know, a lot of Dems are for that, but I'm not. I'm against it. Yeah, we don't need a overreach in government dictating everything that what we should be doing. It's totally criminal and it's totally wrong. This is not what America was designed and set up to be. America represents freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? These politicians, these representatives are supposed to represent us, not rule over us, not being ran by some foreign entity or some private corporation or some private entity that we know nothing about. We want transparency. We want things to be more available to us, not in secret, you know? So this is why I said I'm going to be doing more about Trump talking talking about this type of stuff, right? Yeah, talking about the things that I'm talking about right now because it's important up into the midterms. Trump is right. We need to get rid of the filibuster because if we don't, the Dems, because you got to keep in mind, they're 49%. What are we, 51? Even though we have the majority, but not very much, because they could block us on everything, just like they did when they shut this government down. If we get rid of the filibuster, right, Trump could be able to go in there, right, and be able to take care of things that need to be taken care of. Still got to get people sworn in. Still got to. It's a lot of work that still has to be done. But most importantly, we need the CARE Act regards to that the voting process, right? The voting is an issue because right now, leaving it up to the Democrats, they rely on no ID when it comes down to voting, right? They also want mail-in ballots so they can continue packing them, right? And you look at these Democratic ran states, they're still on that system. Like Dominion, that old booth machine that was wirelessly controlled. You know what I'm saying? Lindell Ben talked about that, you know. They said, broke it down in detail how they were doing it. So we don't need to allow them to continue having power. Get rid of the filibuster, right? Because look at Florida, right? Look at the redistricting that's been going on. And then they already ruled that Prop 50 in California was illegal. So all that stuff all that ish that Gavin Knucklehead Newsom did was all for nothing. Right now, we're gaining more seats, and they should be losing more seats the way it's supposed to be. And I believe now that what Trump is making a headway, now that all those executive orders under Joe Biden and all those, was it Biden appointed judges and so forth, it's non-void. And we're seeing it right now with the immigration, right? So there's a lot of things I'm seeing right now that's starting to happen in the MAGA favor, you know, when you start looking at it that way, you know. I mean, we could talk about it. It's stuff that they don't talk about on the regular news because we know they're part of an extension of the DNC, right? So what we actually have, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful thing. Joe Mama, you got Joe Mama. Then why did Tyson close down in 2000? Let me see, it closed down, blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, for heads and wheat cattle, blah, 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 you know. That one I'm not for sure of, Joe Mama. I'm not for sure of that one. I heard about that, though. Tyson, the chicken, yeah, Tyson feeds you like family. Yeah, the chicken. I heard about that, Joe Mama, but I'm going to look into that a little bit more in regards to why they closed that down. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look into that. Because like it is, the meat packing industry still controls the meat packing, ain't the farmers. I mean, they've been shafting everybody. This explains why Trump had already had his team to go out and investigate it months back. He was actually asking, why is the pricing going up? You know what I'm saying? Because there's no cattle. So, I mean, that may make sense, too. So why the price is so you mean to tell me, Joe Mama, that the reason that the pricing is up because there's no cattle? When the meat packing, and that may make sense. So the meat packing is just scamming us already. If there's no cattle, then where's the meat coming from? And if so, I mean, this explains why the meat prices are so high. Either way it goes, we need to have more competition. Whatever is going on, Joe Mama, we need to have more accountability on this, you know? Folks can't afford it. Yeah, I know. Due to the meat packing, the meat packers. They're the ones that stiffen every damn body. Either way it go, they're still shafting people. I never knew that the meat packing business itself, I mean, for what they're doing, it makes a lot of sense. You know? The packers are actually losing money at the price. Well, I mean, explain why the meat pricing is so high then, because you said there's no cattle. And this is the real reason why the meat is so high if we have no cattle. Because I know the farmers are taking a hike, right? The sources that I have actually talked with, they said it has a lot to do with the meat packing, though. That's what I was told. You know what I'm saying? I was told from some very good sources that it has a lot to do with the meat packing industry. That's what I was told. So I'm just repeating of what I've heard in regards to that. You know, don't tell me about the industry. I work in it for 40 years. No, I'm not telling you about it at all, Joe Mama. I'm just stating for what I've heard about it. You know, shit, the farmers are taking that fucking hit. Shit, you guys are taking the hit as being the farmers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Your source is wrong. Well, you still taking a hit on the farmers thing. You come in here to tell me that, Joe Mama. I mean, you don't want. You guys are taking the fucking hit just like everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You come in there to tell me that. We either gonna get on the program or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like it is. You know, don't make me none. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So you can tell me what it really is. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, you in the industry, but you got to give me more than just that. So if it ain't the Packers, then what is it? The farmers are growing Frankenfruit, are taking a hit. Farmers are growing the Frankenfruit, are taking a hit. Yeah, I know the farmers are growing the Frankenfruit. We went over that GMO stuff. I have been for a year. You have been you've been producing the Frankenfood? I mean, or I thought you were more organic. Hold on for a minute. Let me do this. I'm gonna pull up one of my sources. I'm gonna go to Grok for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for one moment. Hold on for one moment. Let me go to a source here real quick. Real quick. Okay, meat packers. Meat packers food pricing. Give me one moment. All right, hold on for a minute. Meat packer food, okay. Set you blah blah blah. The meat packing industry, often called meat packers, dominate by giants like Tyson Foods, JBC, Cargill. The national beef plays a critical role in the U.S. food supply, processing billions pounds of beef, pork, and poultry annually. However, the food safety remains a persistent challenge with issues like bacteria contamination, E. coli, salmonella, workers, okay, injuries, and supply chain vulnerabilities in 2025. Under the Trump administration, deregulating push and the Make America Healthy Again, all right, initiative, right? Okay, initiative, the sectors have seen a mix of heightened enforcement, recalls, labor disputes, and proposed reforms. Below is a breakdown of key developments in the December, focusing on safety concerns, major food safety incidents and recalls. Um, Listra outbreaks earlier in 2025 saw multiple recall due to Listra in ready-to-eat meat. Oh man. Okay. Oh man. Joe Mama. Yeah, I'm over here reading it right now. Joe Mama. Yep. And so, Joe Mama, you're saying that because of the Frankenfood, now it says here that the outbreaks, right? It says here the Listera in ready-to-eat meats and produce promoting the USDA to issue 103 enforcement acts a year-to-year date. Okay, the year-to date. 36% bitch called me. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. I got a phone into yeah, sorry about that. So Joe Mama, I'm reading what you said, man. Sorry about that. I ain't gonna doubt you ever again, Joe Mama. Look at this. So what I have read, though, Joe Mama, man, dang, Joe Mama, I read you, man, the contamination, the salmonella. You know, who's gonna slaughter your food? Yeah, the contamination, the salmonella, Joe Mama. Joe Mama, I'm over here reading it right now, man. I read it. Joe Mama. I'm looking at it. E. coli, salmonella spikes in the beef. Man, Joe Mama, this is so oh man. So Joe Mama, let me ask you a question. Have Joe Mama, let me ask you a question. Have always been the case? Have we always have seen this, Joe Mama, regards to I mean, has this always been the case with what's going on here, Joe Mama, with the food like this, contamination and so forth? I just need to know in regards to this, man, because man, mm, mm. So, man, well, ladies and gentlemen, I say this. You know, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. It's been 10 years drought in the Midwest. Wow. I know I've been telling you about 500,000 farms were lost since COVID. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Joe Mama, yeah, you're absolutely right, man. All right. So yeah, so Joe Mama broke it down, said it what it is, because he is a farmer, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Mama is a farmer. And got a few farmers over here. All right, so that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, thank you for coming back to the live stream. I checked another source, which is under Grok, and Grok told me about the contamination, the salmonella, the E. coli. You know what I'm saying, Joe Mama? I apologize to you about that. He's absolutely right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is one of the main reasons why the meat is, I believe, is because we know it's expensive. The meat prices has gone up a lot. But yeah, I know we're in the process of getting some things cleared out. But yeah, Joe Mama, man, this is something else, man. Yeah, I'm over here in the car tonight. You know, and it's probably a reason that you guys can't even see me. I don't even know why I even put this thing on, though, really. I really don't know why I put this camera on, because it ain't like you guys can even see me, man. I mean, it just look ridiculous sitting here in the dark. You can't see me, but you at least you can hear me though, you know. And again, I apologize, man. I apologize regards to man, I did not even know. You know, I'm just reading what Joe Mama has to say in regards to this. Okay. There has also been was it been a what's that 10-year drought in the Midwest. 10-year drought. He said this stuff is going way back to COVID, you know. So yeah, like this is yeah, this is stuff that's been going on here, man. So damn, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's well, I guess that would explain why the meat prices have gone up so much. There could be some other factors too. Because I did hear about Tyson too, closing down, I believe. Um, and things like that. And yeah, I've just been reading some stuff. Man, this is pretty serious though, ladies and gentlemen. But on the other hand, I know that we are going to prevail as Americans, you know. It's already in the process though, man. So this is the doom and gloom part of it, but it's not doom and gloom forever. This is just a temporary thing, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be all right. I know that we're gonna be all right because, like I said before, the way that Trump has all the leverage right now, and we can get that cattle coming from Argentina, and that's going to really open up some things for us to bring down some of these meat pricing and things like that. That I do know. That I do know about the meat. And in fact, let me go and check on that too, ladies and gentlemen. because I mean that's another thing I'm gonna check. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, hold on for a minute. Yeah, man. Yeah, hold on for a minute. We'll go pull this up. Okay, Argentina beef export to the United States, 2025. Argentina, the world's third largest beef exporter, right, has long been a niche supplier to the U.S. market. Prized for its grass-fed, high-quality cuts of ribeye strips and loin. Man, that is what's up. And I love grass-fed when I can afford it, right? It is some great stuff, but that's what's up. However, under President Trump 2025 trade agenda emphasized reciprocal deals and tariff adjustments, Argentina beef imports have gained renewed attention. The administration's push to expand quotes aims to erase domestic price pressures amidst high U.S. cattle prices, up to 12% YOY year, right? But it has sparked backlash from American ranchers. As of December the 8th, 2025, imports remain modest, representing just 2.1% of total U.S. beef inflows, right? Below is a breakdown of the current landscape, volume, policies, and impacts. So they have it right here, though. I ain't gonna bore you with all this. I'm just kind of reading some of the things here. But we know that Trump made a deal with Argentina and things like that. Besides investing in Argentina and stuff like that, 40, you know, the whole deal on that. You know, I need to go back into that. Make America healthy again. Argentina imports undergo USDA inspection with zero major recalls in 2025. The grass-fed profile aligns with growing demands of clean meat, free of synthetic additives, phased out under recent FDA rules. This is big, ladies and gentlemen. I did not even know that Argentina was one of the largest beef exporters, and they are known, as it says here, they are known for their grass-fed profile, you know, and things. So this makes a lot of sense. So we're going to be receiving very, very good quality meat. While you heard me mention about the other companies that has been making us sick as well, and things like that. So yeah, I back this, man. I support this until we can get to the point where we bring back our local farmers, build them up again because they have to be built up. Like your mama said, a lot of things was lost due to COVID. So yeah, but you're absolutely right about that, man. I've been over here reading up on that. I did not know that they had a grass-fed profile. And I know places here in Michigan where I can go and buy grass-fed products like the farmers markets that have a great relationship with the local farmers where their cattle and stuff like that are eating grass-fed. And I'm gonna tell y'all, if you ever had grass-fed before, it does taste better than the rather synthetic meats that a lot of us have been buying in the past. Tasteless. You got to do a lot to it to hook it up. Real meat has a nice smell to it, especially after it's been slaughtered. You can smell it. So yeah. So other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, that's basically where we're at with this thing here. So I'm looking forward to the deals, the reciprocal deals, the tariff deals that Trump has with the country of Argentina. You know, so
This is another ally, that we have. And what Trump is really want to do as well is that a lot of these neighboring countries, so far as South America, that whole Western region, he wants to take down the cartel, which he has been doing a wonderful job with it. And basically to protect that Western region, though, we don't need to have China, we don't need to have Russia in those areas. Those Western fronts, because of security measures, you know what I'm saying, national security, those areas have to be protected at all times. So I'm in agreement with Trump with that as well. I got to run Maduro, you got to run him out of Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? Got to get him on out of there, though, too. Gave him some ultimatums, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully he'll take it if he's smart. Going to take the deal and step out of there. Therefore, they can put somebody in Venezuela that is trustworthy, that will be willing to work with the United States and not be a puppet of the deep state and the European Union and so forth. Joe Mama says, I'm happy Trump put silver on the critical research list, right? Yeah, but Joe Mama, man. And I want to say, man, you're absolutely right. Apologize, man. You're absolutely right about that meat thing. I went and pulled it up. I think you heard me read some of it, man, about the American meat thing, man. So yeah, and things like that. Tony Tone can always admit when he's wrong about something, though. But yeah, about that silver, yeah, the silver on critical resource list. Okay, Trump has put silver. Yeah, I'm here listening. Oh, okay, there you go, Joe Mama. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, but yeah, because yeah, the precious metals, which I don't own no gold though like that though. I missed that market. It's like up, what is it to spot $4,000 an ounce for gold right now. Over $4,000, ladies and gentlemen. You know, yeah. This would have been earlier would have been a great time to get into precious metals, especially gold. Silver gonna take off too. You know what I'm saying? Silver is gonna take off as well, and things. So I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. In my opinion, the gold, oh Joe Mama, in my opinion, the gold is already back in Fort Knox. I don't believe it was there before, but I believe that gold is there now. And when Trump does an audit on it, he's going to show the people that the people's gold is there in Fort Knox. Because Fort Knox haven't been talked about in years, ladies and gentlemen. But I do believe that Trump is going to bring that factor up too. Because we know with the Federal Reserve, they have been suppressing gold and silver for quite so long. But we know that the Federal Reserve is going bankrupt. Yep, they're going bankrupt and things like that. I mean, we can basically see around us and things like that. Gold and silver is steady going up. Crypto too. Crypto is starting to make a strive again as well. So yeah, yeah. Oh, Joe Mama says gold is that's about right too. 4,197 uh dollar. Yeah, that's a lot for an ounce, man. Damn. And silver is $59 for 1 troy ounce silver. Man, Joe Mama, I do have silver though, but yeah, that is amazing. There ain't uh eight. Okay. There ain't 8812 tons in the Fort Knox. So what's your so let me ask you this though, Joe Mama. Do you think that okay, so there's in your opinion, there's no gold in Fort Knox? Yeah, I want to ask you that. With your opinion, there's no gold in Fort Knox? Yeah, I really want to know about that. What do you think? And everybody else too. Do y'all think that there's any gold in Fort Knox? I've been told for a long time there wasn't any, but that's a conspiracy. That's a conversation in itself. But I want to hear from what you or anybody got to say. All opinions are welcome. Just give me one moment. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna see what you had to say here in one moment. Yeah, and anybody can respond if they like to, or not. But just tell me what y'all think as well. Do you think is there any gold in Fort Knox? Because I know it. Because I know when he does the auditing and things like that, he's gonna audit that gold though. That's gonna happen. Now, if there isn't any gold in there, but we're gonna find out though, Joe Mama. We're gonna find out if there's any gold in Fort Knox. I haven't heard Fort Knox been mentioned in years, man, until Trump brought it up. And I can understand the reason why, you know. But it is an interesting question though. Are there gold or is there any gold in Fort Knox? I think some of the younger people, Joe Mama, may not even know what Fort Knox is. I thought about that too. All right, let's take a look at it here. Right. Joe Mama says, let me see here. I'm gonna read what Joe Mama said. Hold on, I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a minute. You guys can comment about this Fort Knox and gold thing, though, You can comment about it. But I'm gonna see what Joe Mama has to say. Okay. Joe Mama says, right, let me see here. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, there it is. Joe Mama says silver has outperformed every asset class, right? I agree with that. Joe Mama says, I think Fort Knox is like like a couple of thousand tons, right? Somebody wrote down here, Benny Anderson says Trump is gay. And then Joe Mama says back in January, there were loads. Okay, they were loading London gold to the airplanes and flying it into NYC the ton, right? Right. Benny says, fuck, what's it? MAGA guys fuck each other. Let me see here. Hey Benny, let me ask you a question though, Benny. Well, let me ask you a question, Benny. Tell me why you don't like Trump. Give me a real reason. No insults. Give me a reason why you hate Trump. You okay to answer? I just want to know. Why do you hate Trump? I think I'm going to start asking the trolls. I ain't saying you a troll yet, but you got to give me a reason why you hate Trump. Why you hate MAGA too? Why you hate making America great? Don't you want America to be great? Do you live in America? Let's ask that first, Benny. Benny, do you live in America? Are you an American? I'm going to ask Benny that one first, y'all. Let's find out, does he have ties in America? If not, then I can understand why you may feel that way. But Benny, sound like American name. Benny, talk to me, Benny. Let me see here. Froman says he's the most crooked president in history. Give me a reason, though. Y'all just throwing out stuff, but you saying he's a crooked. So what is it? Tell me the real. Give me something solid. There we go. Tell me. He's crooked. What did he do that was so crooked and corrupt? Tell me. What did President Trump did that was crooked? I need to know. And I'm gonna wait because I'm just asking questions right now. Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, he accepted a $500 million phone. Is that on record or so? He accepted a $500 million phone. I mean, plane. Oh, plane. I said, it looked like phone. Let me get my glasses on. Oh my gosh. Oh, you talking about that plane? You talking about the plane from Qatar? Let's talk about that plane. You know that plane? He accepted the plane. It was a $500,000, but it was a gift. It was a gift, not to him, but Trump even said it. If you went back on his speech, he said that that plane was not my plane, but it was a plane for the American people. Read, man. I'm going to go quick. No, no, I am reading. Wait a moment. Hold on. Let's deal with one thing. You can't throw out a series of questions. Nope. We're going to stay on the one thing here. You said that he accepted. Nope, 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 nope. Hold on for a minute. We got to do this one step at a time. We're going to walk it down now. You said that he accepted $1 billion plane, right? Didn't cost American people nothing. And he said it wasn't a plane for Trump, but it was a plane for the American people, because it's about time that Air Force One needed some upgrades. So why not make the plane that we already have, make one better that somebody donated? And that's exactly what he did. It didn't cost the American people one thing. Man, you still on that old news, man. That's like ancient, man. Damn. You still brought that up. You still on that? You still believe that though, right? You still believe that. In fact, Trump took the plane that was given to him by Qatar, I do believe, and they gutted it out, made sure that the plane didn't have any type of spying devices, any type of malfunction, and they just really, they actually gutted it, rebuilt it. They're gonna put it back together, and that's gonna be the new Air Force One plane. You know, this is the president we're talking about here, right? The president of the United States. This ain't some regular guy that's, you know what I'm saying? He's the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? He's well aware. He knows he can't accept a gift. This is, I mean, giving the plane, it didn't cost American people nothing. This was a gift. This was basically, it's a gift to the American people, just like the Statue of Liberty was a gift. When can America accept a gift? You see the Statue of Liberty is right there on Ellis Island in all her glory, right? Since when American can't accept gifts? So you got to come a little better than that one. And then you have down here as well. He robbed his supporters on the crypto scare. Oh my gosh, you talking about that thing again? Oh my goodness, man. Oh, you talking about the whole Binance and all? Oh man. Oh, come on, man. Oh man. Goes to his presidential library. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That's terrible, man. I said top, let's see. It says here tap dancing Sambo channel. So hold on for a minute. I'm gonna get back on you in a minute. Hold on for a minute. This is from Jack Tipton. Oh, so if I'm a Sambo, that makes you a jigaboo. How about that? So if I'm a Sambo, you a jigaboo, Jack. How about that one? You jigabooing for the Democratic Party that you never got anything from. Look at your neighborhoods. Look at the crime, violence, and drugs and so forth, right? You think that Joe Biden, you think that AOC, you think that Elizabeth Warren, right? You think that Hakeem Jeffries, Bernie Sanders, right? We can keep naming. You think all of them give a damn about you in your district, right? You look at the black community, right? What is it? The inner cities are riddled with crime, violence, and drugs, gang activity. Need I need to say more, right? Jack? So you want to get in here and insult me talking about I'm a Sambo. Use a jigaboo for even standing up for a party like that. You haven't gotten ish from them at all. At least what we're seeing more transparency as Trump, as the president, as he deserved, you know. He deserved all the hard work that he's been doing, changing the orders that sellout jigaboo ass Obama and sleepy Joe Biden, and you want to hold him up in high esteem. You know you must be living under a rock. Look at all the pardons that Trump have done. Kodak Black was one of them, right? Look at who he helped out. He also helped get out of prison was Lil Wayne, right? And the list goes on and on and on. So you sound like a jigaboo if you against that. You know, you have 109 black historical black colleges. Who was the one that gave the most, right? Was Trump. $360 million to 109 historical black colleges. That equates to 3.3 million apiece. You want to sit up here and talk about that I'm a tap dancing as a Sambo. See, you make you look stupid when I start bringing up all the facts of what Trump did, and these were for black folks, right? The First Step Act, the prison reform thing, and so forth. Over night was it? Look at what Trump did. Over 7,000 inmates were released from prison in his first term, and 91% of them were African American, right? So you can't get up here, Jack. See, Jack, you don't know jack shit. I'm gonna have to start calling him jack shit because he want to come up here and call me a Sambo, right? When he doesn't even know he don't even know what is going on at all. You know what I'm saying? Oh wow, you go look it up, Jack. You can go ahead and look at that. Go and look it up. You know, now don't you feel stupid and dumb now? You know what I'm saying? Right? You got more and more blacks that are on board with MAGA now. That old slave narrative or whatever like that, it's not working no more. You know, you got to be more than just have a D next to your name, you know? And I always advocated this about never being married to a party, but right now Trump have a better party than the Democrats. The Democrats don't have shit. You have a leaderless party, and they're also in major trouble right now, right? You guys right here, man, you got, man, Jack, man, you don't know jack shit, obviously. And I just love doing this type of stuff for these people. They want to come in here and want to call me a Sambo, and you look more like a Sambo and a Jigaboo. For you to rock with a party where you got nothing. At least I can name what Trump did for black folks. Name me something in what the Democrats did other than woke, right? Other than DEI. You ain't benefit from that if you sound like you a brother, but you ain't benefited from DEI. That's a fact. Let's keep it real. What do you benefit from DEI? None of these programs. Yep, but I'm gonna get in your ass tonight, though. Hold on for a minute. All this other stuff, man, because I can tell right now, man, what you saying though, Jack, is jack shit. You don't know jack shit. That's why you're afraid to look up the stuff that I just told you because you know you're gonna look stupid. Right? Talking about this dude. All you can do is throw in insults. You don't have shit, Jack. You don't have jack shit. You don't know nothing, Jack. You know, I dealt with worse. In fact, I haven't really dealt with no real worse trolls at all. I'm used to dealing with trolls. I am the troll. But I'm going to troll your ass with facts and knowledge. I am the motherfucking troll. How about that? And I'm not mad. But if we're going to troll, let's go and do it. I dropped the link down and bring your monkey ass up on the microphone. Right? And if you can't answer anything that I'm asking you, then I'm going to drop you and kick you out the room. How about that? I bet you won't come on the mic. Right? Now I'm calling you out, Jack. I bet you won't come on. You a fool. I'll put the mic. Hold on for a minute. I'll drop it down. I bet you won't answer to it. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right, hold on for a minute. And if you get to cussing and you start getting out of control, Jack, I'm gonna bounce your ass right out of the room. Now I drop down the link right here. You get beside yourself and out of control now. You already know I'm giving you a warning. And you better be concise with your facts. Let's go, Jack. Let's go. I dropped the link down. Let's go. Because like I said, ain't gonna be no insults and none of this stuff. We're gonna deal with the facts. Yeah, I'm gonna call his ass out. He's the bitch that he is. Bitch nigga. How about that? Now, and I'm from Detroit. So what you gonna do about it, Jack? No, you ain't gonna come here. Know that. Knuckle. How about that? You messing with a real one now. You don't know who you fucking with. How about that? gonna come in my room. I can have your ass bounce out anyway. You a cult member, so you can't be told anything. I You ain't answered nothing that I'm saying though, Jack. I put the link down, had you to come on and click it. You won't come up. All you want to do is be a keyboard warrior. I'm saying I'm giving you the liberty. Why don't you go ahead on and click the link, bring your behind up on the mic, and let's talk about it. Can't be a cult when 77 million people voted for Trump, you idiot. A cult is a minority group like you, idiot. Democrats are the minority, not the majority. Who told you that lie? Just because everybody don't wear the MAGA cap don't make them not be a MAGA. They know who they are. They're not voting for a dodo like Kamala Harris. They're not voting for that idiot. The one, the bitch that's supposed to say that she's black. You know? So yeah, man, that's the thing about it. I don't mind trolls coming in here, but you better know how to troll, man. Because you're just making yourself look like an ass and a fool yourself. I mean, hitting your ass all day with fucking facts and stuff. And what your party has been doing, nothing. Nothing. And I come from the black community. You don't get no blacker than this, right? I done grew up in the black community, right? And I didn't see nothing from them, right? Being really honest, I ain't see nothing from them. What can you tell me about the Democrats that was so great, right? When this is a group that was for slavery, for Jim Crow, for segregation, right? They're the ones for redlining, right? They're the ones that fucked up this country so bad. And they use ignorant blacks like yourself, right? That's exactly what they did. Then you got these old Roland Martin type people, whatever like that. Can't crush a grape, you know? His job is to keep blacks on the Democratic slave plantation. This ain't no plantation no more. We free now. We don't need the Democrat Party. For what? What did the Democrats do for black folks, right? I'm asking the question now. What did the Democrats do for the black community? I would like to know, right? Because you can't sit up here and say civil rights because we didn't benefit from civil rights. Do you understand that white women and others that are in the civil rights group, foreigners that's in the civil rights group, civil rights don't do anything for black men and black folks? Shit, we ain't benefiting from no civil rights. It was rewritten. It wasn't the original civil rights that Martin Luther King drafted originally. You know? And then what about the Welfare Act? Broke up the black family unit by droves. But he won't click the mic. He steady yapping, man, but he won't click the damn microphone. He won't get on there and get up on here and say his piece because he's a coward, right? He's afraid of me. Like a lot of them, they're afraid of me. They just come in here, type shit, keyboard warriors, but he won't get up here on the mic. And I think that's very rich. He won't get up on the mic, but he steady talking this. Jack, boy, here it is though, man. You study talking ish, man, and you won't get up here on the mic. I don't even need to read your comments because you could get up here and insult, but you haven't said nothing factually about what the Democrats did that was so great for black folks. You haven't said anything. Oh, you look at him. He study saying you just worship. He keeps saying the same old tired stuff. So therefore, man, I gotta go on and get you up on out of here. I gave you a chance, man. I really did. I gave you a chance, man. You know, I gave you a chance. Give me one more reason why I should not ban you off the channel, Jack, because I've been more than lenient. I've been more than lenient. Joe Mama says, Jack, click the link or click the link or you're a little bitch. Yeah, he's been a little bitch. I don't care about the Democrats. Everybody said that. Everybody said they don't care about the Democrats. The hell if you don't. Because you never criticized Joe Biden. You never criticized AOC. You never get criticized Hakeem Jeffries, Bernie Sanders, right? Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Wicked West Waters, and all the rest of them. You you and many of you pick a side, which is, I know you're a Democrat, you a liberal. I can smell liberal bitch in you. It's the bitch in you I smell. What that smell like? Smells like a little woman. Smells like a bitch. That's what Jack smells like. Wow. Smells like a little woman. You know? Won't get on the mic. Want to do the keyboard warrior stuff. I asked him, what was so great about saying, I'm not a Democrat? Well, you caping for him. You caping for him, right? Because I know moderates for real. Moderates will give what they don't like on both sides, not just one side, right? Right? That's what they would do. It would be on both sides, right? This guy ain't did nothing on both sides. It just been on one side. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I gave him a chance. I gave this dude a chance. I know. Yeah, it sounds about right though. Yeah, Joe Mama, Jack was a Antifa rally throwing dildos. Yeah, man. Was there international terrorists? You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I'm over here talking to a troll, which I don't mind. But it just proves our point, though, Joe Mama. We can't have conversation and dialogue with these people because every time we try to do something or try to even ask a question, they avoid the question, they ask the question with a question, and then throw out insults. It was him, ladies and gentlemen, that threw out the insult first. It wasn't me. And no, I'm not rattled at all because I know how this troll thing goes. But when I do it with facts and knowledge about the Democratic Party. All of them say, because they know it's not fashionable to be a Democrat. So they'll sit up here and say, oh, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat at all. Posing as a moderate. I know moderates, man. I got some moderates in this room. I know what a moderate is. That ain't you. You caping for the left. Because had I would have been up here talking about how Obama was so great, that big ear galoot, if I've been over here talking about how he's so great, how Kamala is so great, I'll be lying. There's nothing great about those policies. Kamala didn't have one. What are you talking about, right? If these people work so well, how we got so much crime and violence? Lee Trump had to send in the National Guards to curtail this violence. The Democrats had every opportunity to do so, and they did not, right? Look at what they did. Yeah, there we go. There we go. If the Democrats were so damn great and smart, right, we wouldn't have an influx of crime, violence, and drugs, as I mentioned before, prostitution and all this, and all the blacks. He called me a Sambo, and I said, if I'm a Sambo, he's a Jigaboo, right? Which you are, because you can cape for the Democratic Party, the ones that was the leaders in slavery since 1828, the Democratic Party. This is the one here. You ain't had no smoke for them, but it's mighty funny that you have a lot of smoke for Trump, somebody that's actually doing something about the country, getting these illegal aliens up out of here, drill baby drill, shut down the influx border of all these illegals and stuff. Look at what he's been doing, man. You know, bringing in jobs under like never before. We got tariffs and stuff. Look at the tariff tax. These other countries have been ripping us off for years, right? Trump stopped that, stopped the hemorrhaging there. All these countries got to pay homage if they want to do business in America. The tariff has been filling up the coffers with tariffs going back to the Treasury, right? The External Revenue Service. Trump is going to do away with the Federal Reserve and the IRS, right? All the wonderful things, drill baby drill, right? We got a man also that's over the HHS. You know, look at what RFK Jr. is doing. So there's a lot of things, and there's so much more with Trump and his policies, right? He's been combating the war and with these cartel, fentanyl, shut down the border, right? Americans was dying by the millions on that fentanyl stuff, blowing up the ships. This is what I voted for, right? Trump have helped out so many people in America, especially black people alone. He can fix his mouth. I'm surprised he didn't come up and say, yeah, you voted for a racist. That's what they love to say, Joe Mama. That's what they love to say, man. I know. Yeah, I'm gonna see what Joe Mama had to say. Man, that's what I say, man. I give them the link, you know. It's like when they see, I see them, they run, you know. Let me see here. Joe Mama says Jack was. Yeah, I read that one. Europe is just figure out. They have. Let me see here. 14 trillion, right? Trade deficit with China. Tariffs aren't looking so bad to them now. Yeah, I know, right? Oh man, I know, right? Yeah, man. Joe Mama, I appreciate you on, man. It's been good, man, and stuff like that. But yeah, man. Yeah, I have to go into my troll voice when I deal with trolls. Now, again, though, I mean, I don't know Jack personally, so I have no feelings towards him personally, just like he don't know me, and that's fine. But if we're gonna have a conversation, Jack, like I always welcome, I always start him off, give him an olive branch, start him off. If we can have a civil dialogue, right? Because I did ask him why he hate Trump. He gave me a list of stuff, but it just wasn't true, right? Just wasn't true. You want to use the meme coin thing and all the rest of this stuff. When I mean, they believe in this stuff, man. It's like they want this guy. They want this guy locked up. They done lost on the founding Willis case and Letitia Big Butt James, Big Mama Letitia James. She's looking at prison time. You know, Trump have every right to go after his enemies, right? These were the people that put pressure on him and his family. Now he's going to be applying the pressure. They decided to go after a political opponent with no evidence. There was no who was the victim? Wasn't not one victim with Trump in this hush money thing. Where is the victim? Why didn't Stormy Daniels come up and be the victim, right? Well, we can talk about it. That's what I'm saying, though, man. They just come on here, won't even drop the link, and he come up on here. Want to be the keyboard warrior, man. Want to try to out alpha me, man, on the keyboard, man. Damn. I gave him a chance, Joe Mama. I did. I really gave him a chance, man. I try to give these clowns a chance, man, but they just won't do it. And I'm not upset about him calling me a Sambo. I've been called much worse. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that names never hurt a person, man. You don't go ape shit over what somebody said. Damn. I appreciate everybody coming on live too tonight. I got a ride, so I got to pick up. So other than that, I'm gonna have to cut it short. Joe Mama, I appreciate you coming on here as always, having my back and stuff like that. So, but other than that though, man, yeah, I'm gonna do it again, you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm also on Rumble as well, which you can find me. I'm under as a random male with two M's, a random male. So I'll see you guys on the next chat. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out.